Hello everyone, my name is Barbara. I'm a Polish girl who lives in Ireland and likes to knit, and today I have a finished object for you, and they are gloves. First things first, this is a finished object video. It is not a tutorial. I'm sharing you my adventure with knitting. I love knitting, and on this channel you can find that, but not only this. And this is a pattern that I have kind of come up with. Basically, lately I have designed a hat and a cowl. Here it is, a chimney hat. This is 2-in-1. So if you're interested to grab and play with it, go for it. This is not a color work, it is a slip stitch, and the difference between a slip stitch technique with a color work is that during one round or one row you're only holding one color. With a color work you're holding 2 or 3, depends how many colors you're using in the pattern. In a slip stitch we normally work with 2 colors per round, and that's where we're only holding one strand of yarn. So quite an easier option if you're interested to try it. Second of all, it's like with a color work, when you slip stitches, try to get the strand behind stretch. And because I have these and I've never owned a matching set, I've decided that I'm going to knit mittens. And if you go and browse playlist mittens, you probably will see that I have maybe 3 or 4, I'm not really sure, comparing to hats like 50 something. So yeah, I come up with this, and what I did over here, I have a free pattern on Ravelry which is called Easy Mitts, and you can check it out. It's fingering less pattern, and I basically did the same thing. It is a DK yarn, and I did I don't remember the number of stitches, but basically it's the same number of stitches as is that free pattern. And I just went up, and when I felt like it, I divided it. Obviously I took the chart from the pattern, from the chimney pattern, and I followed it up in the front. You could see some slip stitches, and the yarn is amazing. I'm going to tell you in a sec what yarn it is because it's just beautiful. And it was so fun to knit it, even though I'm not a fan knitting mittens somehow, I'm not sure why. And when I reach certain point, I decrease it. I did a creasing, and as you can see, with Norwegian style of mittens you will have them pointy. I decided to get them a little bit round, so that way they look like this on my hand. So here is a plain knitting. Obviously the calf I was doing a pattern. Then on one side I was knitting using magic loop. I just followed the pattern in regards to the colors, but not in regards to slip stitches. I just did slip stitches on the the front side, and then I did a thumb. So cute! So here how it looks. You're probably interested in regards to this section. And I was knitting them 2 at a time, so maybe that's why it wasn't the best idea, but I'm so afraid that I missed up something, and if I'm knitting 2 at a time, at least if I miss something, I will miss on both of them. Why I said it wasn't the best idea, because I ended up working with 4 balls and they were around the place. That's basically what I'm saying. It would probably be really cool if you can do 1 at a time, and like I said, you can just get the chart from the chimney hat and just go for it if you've already done it. So that's that. I did a folded brim, and Ta-da! Now the yarn. The yarn that I use, let's call it a main color, which is the one with the thumb. The white one, which is not really white, it's not really grey. Oops. Mittens. If you like to knit mittens, this is something you'll probably be looking for. Down below, link in my shop. But anyway, I'm talking about yarn over here, which is the grey, but with a smidge of pink going on over that. I'm not sure, can you see it? Oh, you probably could see it now. Can you see that glare of pink? It's like there, but it's not there. And this is Yarn Fairy and the Pixies Elf Merino, and it's 100% extra fine, non-superwash merino. And we have over here 100 gram, which is 288 meters, which is, I wrote down 263 meters. And the name is Brushed Steel. Check it out on the screen, freeze if you need to. Really, really nice. Like I said, I had 2 skeins and I was able to knit a hat, a cowl, mittens for myself, and I still have some leftovers. But the main one, and the one that plays the part over here, is this amazing one, and I love it so much. And it's like a Christmas, I would call it a vintage Christmas, and I'm trying to pursue Grace from Bubbles Yarns to change the name, I'm not sure. And here's a label, Bubbles Yarns, and the original of it is Blood Moon, because it was dyed during this phase of the moon. But close up, check this green now. Don't you see it is a vintage Christmas? Don't you see it's Christmas vintage? I love it so much. So much. And I got that, okay, so the first yarn I got from the Knit Crate boxes, and that's Artisan Crate, because they collaborated with Indie Dyers with their 2 boxes subscription, so check it out if you're interested. Try yarn from someone you would never had a chance to try. And then this beauty I got in Grace's yarn event, Bubbles Yarn Treat, I think that's how she calls it. And I got this skein, and literally I got it as a fun skein, and I got 2 others to blend it together and created a color work, and I ended up just warming up. And I'm just amazed how well I warmed up with Grace's yarn, don't you think? I love it so much. The beauty of this hat and this pattern is when you do slip stitches, try to find a yarn that does not have a glimpse of the same color. So because I wanted to knit another chimney and it did not work out well, because the skeins were perfect for each other, because it was, I actually have it there, Alison's yarns, and it was beautiful red color, and there was a glimpse in the speckled yarn with that red. And unfortunately I could not see the slip stitches. So yeah, I would go, so check out the screen now and see how different they are. If you're looking for the same effect, try something like this. In regards to needles, so what needles I use exactly the same needles that I used for the chimney hat, which is 4 millimeters, and I use my lovely pouch. This is something new in my shop. I call it gift knitting, even though this is not a gift knit. I'm not going to gift these mittens for my although I'm not going to gift these new mittens to anyone. In December I was gift knitting to myself or for myself. So that's pretty, and you probably noticed that I have over here 16 inches, which is 40 centimeters cable. And well, if I was doing magic loop, you probably would know that I would need a longer cable to fit 2 mittens on them. But I needed that cable for something, and I was knitting thumbs. And the last thing I was knitting 1 thumb at a time, and I needed something that I could work with, and that's 16 inches, 40 centimeters cable. 4 inches was fine. So just in case you would want to knit hats, just a reminder that 16 inches, which is 40 centimeters cable for interchangeable set, it doesn't matter if it's Hi-Hi's or any other brand, you need 4-inch tips. The size of the tips is whatever you want, but the length of it is very important, because with 5 inches you would not want to be able to do a circle. I'm just saying. Anyway, all the links down below if you're interested to check them out. So if you're still here, just let me know, have you knitted with this yarn before? And if you did, what do you think about it? What did you knit? Second of all, are you a fan of knitting mittens? If you are, let me know what is your favorite pattern. Do you like color work? Have you ever tried slip stitch method? I hope you enjoyed this one. See you next one. Bye!